I'll tell you right now, nothing, and I mean nothing, knocks the wind out of a peaceful morning like watching two cops stomp up your driveway with the kind of faces they save for bank robbers. I was just sitting on my porch minding my own, a cold beer sweating in my hand, the world nice and quiet the way I like it. Next thing I know, they're at the bottom step, flashlights dangling, one of them squinting like he's sizing up a wild animal and not just a tired old man with a bum back. One of them hollered, "Sir, step away from the property. You're trespassing on HOA land." That hit me sideways. I looked down at my boots sitting right on the boards I'd laid plank by plank. Then I looked up at them and said, "Well, hell, fellas. If this ain't my porch, then who's been sending the bank all that money every month?" Didn't even have time to laugh at their faces before Karen, HOA president in all her glory, stormed up behind them, moving fast, lips thin, finger pointed like a loaded gun. She barked, "Arrest him. He doesn't own this land anymore." And I'll admit for a split second I wondered if she'd lost her mind or just overdosed on garden fertilizer. But that cold little knot of dread settled right in my chest, and I knew this wasn't about some rule, wasn't about protecting anyone. This was about taking what wasn't theirs inch by inch until a man wakes up and doesn't recognize his own damn house. I stood up slow, dusted off my jeans, locked eyes with the badge on the cop closest to me. "Boys, you're about to learn you picked the wrong man's porch." And that right there is how the circus started. You got a minute, I'll tell you all of it. One porch, a dirt trail, a cheap red sign turned my retirement into the craziest fight since my last go-round in divorce court. See, after those officers shuffled off more confused than tough, I sat down again and let my eyes wander over the place. Land rolling out in front of me, smell of pine, that easy breeze off the lake. That was why I bought the place in the first damn place. After 54 years, I was tired. Not the kind of tired that goes away with a nap, the kind that just lives in your bones. Marriage gone, 2 boys grown and busy, somewhere else savings split and silence where there used to be Sunday noise. What I had left was a stack of scars from construction, a knee that popped every time it rained, and a dream of peace, 4 acres tucked behind oaks older than my regrets. Built the house myself. Every board, every blister, especially the porch. Wide enough for a hammock, strong enough to outlast me, stained 3 times in that first month, not because it needed it, but because I needed to see my own hands in every inch. For a while it was perfect. Locals waved, townfolk said nice things. I'd wake to sunlight, step out barefoot, breathe like I'd finally outrun all the world's noise. But peace. Peace erodes slow as river water chewing rock. First crack. That trail, simple dirt winding behind my lot to the lake. At first I didn't mind. Kids biked it, dog walkers strolled. Summer's short, I thought. Let 'em have it. Until I realized, let people treat your land like it's theirs, and pretty soon they'll decide you don't belong on it at all. That trail got busier, louder. With it came trash. First a can, then wrappers, then one day I found a dirty diaper tucked under a maple. And that was it. You ever step in something so insulting you gotta check the sky and ask the Lord if he's messing with you? That was me, glove in hand, cleaning up after strangers. A couple days later, there's laughter, sharp and mean. 3 teens tossing beer cans into my woods like it was a ball game. Tall one, shaggy blonde hair, real expensive sneakers. He grins and says, "Relax, old man. Everybody uses this trail." "Not if you're trashing it," I told him steady as I could. "Private property." He snorted. "Whatever, it's just trash." I stepped closer. Trash gets reported as vandalism when it's on someone else's land. "Want me to call the sheriff now, or are you gonna pick it up?" They hesitated. Not scared, just mad. Someone pushed back. The blonde one, he puffed up. "My mom runs the HOA. We're allowed to be here." Right there I realized what kind of trouble I was in. "No, son. Only if I say so. Pick it up." Eventually they did, shuffling off, muttering. The blonde tossed, "We'll see about this." 4 words that rolled in like thunder. That night, pounding at the door, Karen, of course. Same ponytail as blonde boy, same sour look. "Did you threaten my son?" she barked. And just like that, I saw it. The trash, the trail, the entitlement, it wasn't about kids, it was about her. She planted herself on my mat, finger out. "Stay away from my sons. Understand?" I said, calm as I could, "Ma'am, your boys were throwing trash on my land. That's trespassing." She scoffed, big, dramatic show. "This trail's been here 20 years. It's basically public. Practically, I said, isn't legally." That stung. Her eyes sharpened. My community has rights. People don't need your permission. On my deeded property. Yeah, they do. She stepped closer. You think you can just move in and bully teenagers? I laughed, tired. If reminding them not to litter is bullying, maybe you've got bigger problems at home. Her jaw set, and she spun toward the trail pointed like a movie villain. This trail belongs to Lakeview Estates. You will not block access. It's on my land, I repeated. I decide. She gave me the old HOA war cry. You have no idea who you're dealing with. Every HOA tyrant, same line. I just shook my head. Ma'am, I'm too old for threats. She jabbed again. Talk to my kids again, I'll file harassment. And I'll make sure the HOA deals with you. Deals how I asked. No answer. She stormed off, last words thrown over her shoulder. Enjoy your peace while you have it. For a minute, the night felt normal. But inside, I knew the storm had only just started. The next morning, cup of coffee in hand, I step onto the porch. There it is, under my private property. Please don't litter sign, a beer can placed like a dare. Not thrown. Placed. The next day, 3 cans. Third morning, wrappers, cups, butts all stacked around my sign. I cleaned up, noticed the footprints, teenage expensive souls, one adult-sized. I could see Karen barking orders from behind the trees. That's when I got it. This wasn't about a trail or teenagers or even lake access. It was about power people who thought boundaries were for everyone but them. Folks who never heard no without a fight. Anger didn't flare up, it just settled. This was war. That evening I went to the shed, pulled out a new sign, thicker metal, bright red letters, no trespassing. Violators will be prosecuted. Set it in concrete, hammered it down. No more polite, no more maybe. I made it so firm they'd need a toe strap to budget. On the way back, ran into Jim, neighbor, retired mechanic, still wears a cap that says Farmers Feed America. He leaned on his fence. Heard you hammering. That for the teenagers, no Jim. For their mother. The one who runs the HOA. He shook his head. People like her don't back down. They double down. That line stuck with me heavy as stone. Next morning, mailbox official letter, HOA, logo, 3 pages of nonsense about blocking a community trail, harassing minors, and historic easement. The kind of legal-sounding garbage that makes you want to wipe your shoes after touching it. Third page claiming uninterrupted use for 20 years. I laughed, tired laugh, the kind you make when you're so far past mad it's almost funny. Then the phone buzzed a number I didn't know. We saw your sign. Take it down before this gets worse. No name. I replied, identify yourself. No answer. It wasn't about the trail or the sign. It was about them wanting control. And you know what? With every threat, every letter, I felt something deeper than anger. Resolve. If they wanted a fight, I'd show them what that really looked like. 2 days later, police back again. Slow drive up the gravel, same cruiser. 2 officers, young one, nervous, older one with a mustache and a scowl. They tell me I put up a sign without authorization. It's my land, I said. Old cop steps up. Trail's been used for 20 years. You can't just close it. Community access doesn't override private property, I told him. Not without a recorded easement. He threatened a 24-hour hold for disorderly conduct. I asked if he was in his right mind. He warned me. Careful. That can be obstruction. And I realized this wasn't law, it was pressure. I didn't yell. Just asked for their badge numbers, made them say it out loud. They didn't arrest me. They walked off, dust in their wake. Once they left, I knew what to do. Not get mad, get smart. Called my friend Tom, lawyer, old friend, stubborn as me. He said, get cameras. Good ones. Catch them in the act. Don't cheap out. So I drove into town, bought 4 top-shelf outdoor cameras. Spent the afternoon wiring every corner, trail, porch, gate, lake, path. That night my land glowed on my phone. I was ready. Didn't have to wait long. Next morning, motion alert, 2 men, khaki pants, HOA polos, one with a crowbar walking right down the trail. Walkie-talkie on one belt, crowbar swinging in the sun. They stood over my new sign. Crowbar guy grunted. Karen said, break it, she's sick of looking at it. Look out, guy. This guy's gonna lose his mind. Crowbar, he ain't gonna do nothing. Karen runs the HOA. They pried, wrenched, popped the post out, dropped it on the dirt like garbage. Spat on it, laughed, walked off. I saved the footage, emailed Tom. He called me near laughing. Ron, this is gold. They narrate the crime. He told me to file a complaint, property destruction, trespass, intimidation with every second of the video. I marched into the courthouse, handed it all over. Clerk shook her head. They did this on camera, HOA. I shrugged. They think cameras are for other people. She just said Judge won't like this. That evening, I sat on the porch watching the trail. The world felt different. For once, I had proof. Next day, text from Tom Judge's clerk flagged your video. Good start. Stay calm. Just as I'm rinsing my coffee cup, I hear that slow gravel crunch cruiser, Karen's SUV, both officers. Karen steps out, sunglasses, clipboard, strutting like it's a red carpet. I stepped outside, phone recording. Young cop, Mr. Hunt. Back so soon, I smiled. Karen shoved ahead. He's unlawfully blocking access, intimidating residents. He refuses to comply. I said, funny, all I remember is being threatened for standing on my own porch. I made them give me badge numbers. When they asked why I was recording, I told them, because last time you threatened to detain me for standing on my land. Karen cracked just a bit. I said the HOA security tore my sign out yesterday. Got it all on video. Them saying Karen told us. For the first time, her confidence faltered. Sergeant Dugan tried to push through, stop blocking access until this is sorted. I said, let's get this clear. You're ordering me to surrender my land with no court order just because the HOA president says so. He bristled. Karen tried to bark louder, but I said right into the camera, the HOA president is attempting to direct law enforcement actions on private land without authority. That one landed hard. They left Karen, the cops, all trailing dust. I stood there finally feeling like I wasn't the one being pushed, like I'd flipped on a light. Minutes later, email from a stranger. You're not crazy. She forged everything. Someone inside the HOA whistleblower. Attachments. PDF of a forged easement photo of 3 fake signatures, a copy of a board email. Let's push him off the trail issue. Even an audio clip, Karen clear as day. I don't care what the law says. That land is ours now. We'll make him comply. I sent it all to Tom. He called right away. We're done. She forged easements, falsified records, ordered property destruction, directed the cops. With your footage, we tie it to her. What now? I asked. He just exhaled, satisfied. Injunction. Criminal referral. Civil suit. Big enough to buy you a new truck. I actually laughed. Think it'll stick? Judges don't ignore forged signatures, Ron. This is over. That night I walked the trail with a flashlight. Bent down, picked up a chunk of that broken concrete. It's my land, I whispered. Always was. I locked the door behind me, not out of fear, just habit. Because here's the truth, by the time Karen woke up thinking she still held power, I'd already taken it from her with a camera, a whistleblower, and the truth she could never outrun. Now let me ask you, where's the line between standing up for what's yours and being bulldozed by people who make their own rules? Ever been pushed to fight a battle you never wanted? Go ahead. Tell me. Drop your story. Tell me where you'd draw that line. I'll be right here listening. Because around here, truth still counts for something.